Liverpool may have cruised to an emphatic win in Europe, but it's Arne Slot's post-match comments that have sparked the biggest debate. Despite ending a 4-game winless run with a statement performance in Germany, the Dutchman has found himself under fire following remarks that didn't sit well with everyone. Now, after a revealing discussion involving two of Liverpool's most expensive signings, the £194 million conversation has taken centre stage, and not everyone is impressed with what Slot had to say. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool returned to form in emphatic fashion as they dismantled Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1 in the Champions League, a performance that not only reignited belief within the squad, but also relieved mounting pressure on manager Arne Slot. The Dutchman had gone 4 matches without a win prior to the trip to Germany, but this dominant display, headlined by the brilliance of Florian Wirtz and the resurgence of Hugo Ekitike, was the statement Slot needed ahead of a crucial Premier League clash with Brentford this weekend. Wirtz, who arrived from Bayer Leverkusen in a £116 million summer move, was central to Liverpool's attacking flair. The 21-year-old provided 2 assists and dictated play with maturity and creativity that belied his age. For a player whose performances had come under scrutiny in recent weeks, this was a timely reminder of his quality. He was everywhere, said one pundit on BT Sports coverage. That's the Wirtz Liverpool paid for, the one who takes control of a game and makes others better around him. Liverpool's goals came from an unlikely mix of contributors. Former Frankfurt striker Ekitike opened the scoring against his old club with a composed finish, before Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate both struck from set pieces to make it 3-1 before the interval. Cody Gakpo and Dominik Szoboszlai added gloss to the scoreline late on, ensuring the Reds cruised to their first European victory under Slot. But much of the post-match attention fell on Ekitike's performance. The French striker, signed for £77 million from Frankfurt, had endured a great start to life at Anfield. And against Frankfurt, he continued to show why Slot pushed hard for his signature. His movement, aggression, and clinical finishing offered a glimpse of the forward Liverpool hope he becomes. Former Manchester United striker Andy Cole was among those impressed. Speaking on Match of the Day, he said, "I do like Ekitike and Isak. They're both of good age. They've bought for the future, and I can see them playing as a 2. Because if they do play as a 2, ultimately, they're going to cause chaos. Because they've both got pace, they've both got ability, and they're both prepared to take players on." Cole singled out Ekitike's opening goal as a sign of old-school centre-forward instincts returning to the game. "What I loved about it," he continued, his first thought was, "I'm running forward," and we don't see that a lot in the modern day game where centre forwards want to run in behind. That's what sets him apart. However, not everyone was impressed with the post-match narrative. Former Sky Sports presenter Richard Keys criticised Arne Slot for his comments after the match, calling them daft. Slot had suggested that Liverpool benefited from Frankfurt's commitment to building play from the back rather than going direct. On X, Keys wrote, "What a daft thing to say. Now everybody knows how to beat Liverpool, long balls. They don't fancy a scrap." Slot, meanwhile, defended his remarks and focused on his team's resilience and response after recent disappointments. "We needed a win," he said. "What we needed more was another performance where we create a lot of chances, but the players get the reward with a win. That's what happened. The main difference between this game and the 4 before was that in most of them, the other team scored from a set piece, and this time we scored from 2. Then people focused more on the attacks rather than the misplaced passes, which we probably had as well. But when you're 3-1 up, you are judged differently. Slot's side had come under criticism after their 2-1 defeat to Manchester United on Sunday, where he claimed the team struggled against Ruben Amorim's defensive tactics and direct passing approach. Against Frankfurt, though, Liverpool rediscovered their spark, pressing aggressively, combining fluidly, and taking their chances. For Slot, this wasn't just a win, it was a much-needed turning point, one that could mark the start of Liverpool's resurgence both in Europe and back home in the Premier League. In other news, Paul Scholes has become the latest pundit to take aim at Liverpool fullback Milos Kerkez, adding his voice to a growing list of critics who believe the young defender is struggling to adapt to life at Anfield. The 21-year-old Hungarian joined Liverpool from Bournemouth in the summer, viewed as a long-term solution at left-back, amid ongoing injury concerns for Andy Robertson. However, his early performances have done little to ease concerns. Kerkez has started every Premier League match so far this season, but has endured a difficult introduction, with his latest showing in the 2-1 defeat to Manchester United drawing particular scrutiny. During the match at Anfield, Kerkez found himself targeted repeatedly by United's wingers, and his defensive positioning came under fire from both former players and pundits alike. Gary Neville, speaking on his Sky Sports podcast, did not hold back. "I think the individual performances of Liverpool's defenders were really poor," Neville said. "The left-back hasn't settled in. He plays like a 10-year-old. He is all over the place." Neville's blunt assessment followed similar criticism earlier in the campaign after Kerkez's unsteady outings against Burnley, Crystal Palace, and Chelsea. On each occasion, the youngster's positional awareness and composure under pressure were questioned. Jamie Redknapp, analysing the United match at half-time, echoed Neville's sentiments, describing Kerkez as visibly nervous under the intensity of the occasion. "Kerkez is very nervous," Redknapp said. "He's like a nervous wreck out there. I feel for him. It's almost a bit too much for him. The game is happening a bit too fast, and Amad Diallo is causing him problems. Like you've mentioned, with Brian Mbeumo and Cunha, they've gone for a different approach with a bit more pace." Redknapp's comments underscored a wider concern that Liverpool's new-look backline, featuring attacking fullbacks in an aggressive system, may be struggling to find balance. That theme continued in the latest episode of Stick to Football, where Paul Scholes, stepping in for Jamie Carragher, offered his own blunt appraisal of Liverpool's defensive frailties. "The fullbacks are really struggling," Scholes said. "Frimpong is a winger really, or a wing-back, not a full-back. The left-back looks like a kid playing against men at times." Scholes' remarks reinforce a growing sense that Liverpool's defensive structure has yet to click under Arne Slot, and that Kerkez, while talented, is bearing the brunt of that adjustment period. His attacking intent and willingness to drive forward have been noted positively, but his defensive awareness and positional play have repeatedly been exposed by opponents. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.